when I went to get my books issued, I got 3 textbooks this size with small print. And I knew it because my classmates were ripping their books open. I didn't open mine. I kept them closed. I carried them home. I set them on the table, and I just went, what am I going to do with these books? I am not going to read these books. And I didn't open them for weeks afterwards. I've always thought like that. I've never read. I don't read books. I've gotten through my life being able to not read a book from cover to cover, and I just didn't enjoy reading. I didn't know actually how to read. Simple as that. We were lucky. Part of the process of becoming a student with Whitireia, we got visits from the student services. We were asked a question. We were asked to write on a post-it note one thing that was something that we needed to work on to get us through, something that we knew that we had to work on really, that was something we were worried about. I wrote on my post-it note, I hate reading. And I stuck it on the whiteboard in front of the whole class. There were heaps of them on the board. And the presenter at the time walked over to the whiteboard, kind of walked past and stopped midstream and looked on the whiteboard and plucked mine off and she went, "Who wrote I can't read?" And it was a silence in the class, and I went, shrink, it's me. And I kind of kept my hand up, I wrote that. And then she kind of grilled me in a good way. Straight after their class, I marched over here and booked in to see the person I was supposed to see.
I knew that Peri had been in the army. Didn't know much else about him. He's had quite a big life, but that's what I really did know. And so when he was really bothered with reading, really unhappy, sweating, uncomfortable, ho-ha, didn't want to be there, I thought, okay then, what is something that he knows already? So we talked about when you go to a new area in your unit in the military, what do you do? We have a recce, he says. A reconnaissance, he sits up proudly. What on earth is a reconnaissance? He says, well, you look around, you look for features in the landscape. What particular features, I asked him. He said, well, for example, with telecommunications, there are certain things you have to look for so you would have successful communication. There are things about access, things about water. So he knows how to identify features in the landscape. So let's take that knowledge of features in the landscape to helping him learn features in text.
So she pulled out her Potama book and she said, "Do you know how to read this?" No. And I won't read it. I was a little bit offish with her, and I didn't mean to be, but that's how I was feeling. And she made the book feel like I was in control. She made me pick it up, look at it, turn it upside down, read it out loud, look at the pictures, flick it through, and it wasn't so scary. Then she made me segment it and actually look at it. It's actually not a huge text, you just pick out the bits and identify the parts. But the biggest thing for me was that she allowed me to turn reading a book into my language.
Students don't particularly value the life they've had, the knowledge they've got, the experiences, the skills they've got. We as tutors find that incredibly invaluable. You don't get to come to a tertiary environment without knowing anything. You know, people have had all sorts of experiences, achieved all sorts of things.
I've only went back about 1 or 2 times to actually hone in on a few skills about how to extract information out of the reading and to turn it into good notes and stuff. Reading's still not on my I love list. And I don't think it'll be there for a long time. It may never get there. But the level I'm at with regards to actually feeling confident to unwrap the books, take them out of the cellophane and actually open and have a look inside, that's huge. And to actually know where to look now, it's not such a scary thing. It's really important for me to grasp it because I've invested so much time and money and my family into me being here, and I really can't afford to have I can't read as my excuse for dropping out, because I'm not going to drop out.
Well, I think the biggest thing we can do for students is to say to students, with some strategies you can do this. That idea that someone believes you can do something is part of our role, I think, to inspire students. You can do this, you're a smart person, you've done a lot of things already. You can crack this reading code. And that's part of our job.
Basically, for me, she did all the right things. she didn't overpower me. She introduced herself. She made me feel comfortable because I wasn't comfortable. It takes a lot of guts to front up in my age and say, "Oh, excuse me, I can't read." It's quite, and in front of your class too. You're kind of like outed, and she did that with respect. She actually treated me with respect because I wasn't feeling very tough at the time. And we got to talk, and what she managed to do successfully is ask the right questions. She asked the right questions, and I had to be totally honest with myself to answer them with truth. And that's why I've got the results I've got today.